Hi duckies, hiya, hiya. Thought I'd do another video. It's been about a week since the last one. Hope you're well. I'm outside. Let me just turn this around so you can have a look. I'm outside. There's the road. There's the car park. I'm on my balcony. It's a lovely day. It's going to be a bit cloudy tomorrow. Another weather report by Lenny. But it's an alright day, so I thought I'd do the vlog on my balcony with my selfie stick. I wanted to do a brief one, this vlog. I don't know if it'll be brief, we'll see how it goes. I wanted to do this vlog on the European referendum. Now, I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to vote. I might leave that till after the referendum. But I'm beginning to get a bit tired of the project fear that's going around from the Conservative government. It's a bit tiresome, really, because it's constantly going on about you're going to lose £4,300. Travelling abroad is going to cost you an extra 230 quid. We're going to go into a recession. This is going to happen. The clouds are going to fall. The devil's going to come up from hell. It's beginning to get on my nerves a bit. No one's talking, and it's the same on the Remain side. No one's talking about anything positive. No one's giving us an explanation of what the situation really is on the ground. You've got to believe in whichever project fear you believe in. Now, the Leave campaign is trying to get an upbeat tempo. They're trying to make us out that if we left the European Union, we'd become internationalists. We'd look more to the Commonwealth. We would trade with more countries. We would be able to create our own trade agreements. They don't actually say how long it'll be to get these trade agreements. And I do think that if we did leave the European Union, there would be a shrink in our economy. But I'm not buying the Treasury's predictions, because the Treasury can't predict themselves out of a wet paper bag, really. They get all their predictions wrong every time they talk about it. They've got all their predictions for the last 3 years wrong so far in the economic progress of the UK. So what they're talking about with after a European referendum and we vote to leave, what they're expecting us to believe from that. I mean, you can't trust anything the Treasury says because they've been wrong so many times in the past. The project fear is getting to me. But in my personal opinion, I think the majority of people in the UK are going to vote to remain in the United Kingdom. I think in the Telegraph today they were saying that the older voters who would have voted for Brexit are beginning to change their minds and go with the Remain campaign. I think that's because they're getting fearful. They're getting fearful with Project Fear. Now, Project Fear worked in the general election in 2015. It worked in the Scottish referendum in 2014. Who says it's not going to work again? It's very easy to frighten the old dears in this country, the old people. They get very worried, and the next step is if the Conservative government brings out any policies on what it would mean for pensions, that will really get the elderly vote going for Remain. If they say it'll affect our pensions, your pension will go down, you won't get as much in retirement, that will really affect it. I just think that there needs to be something positive in this European referendum. Something positive to come. My fear is that it'll be a close vote like the Scottish referendum, and we'll be stuck with this situation where UKIP is still around and still gaining votes, and the country is split down the middle. Now, personally speaking, I'm inclined to think that it's not going to be as close as everybody thinks it is. I was coming down on the argument that it would be about 60-40, maybe a bit more than that, in favour of Remain. It'll be interesting to see how it all goes in the end, but as I say, I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to vote. You'll have to wait till after the referendum, and then if I'm feeling generous, I might let you know. But don't be afraid. Go with your gut. If you're young, I know how you're going to vote because you've known nothing but the European Union. If you're old, I know that you're weighing up the pros and cons on both sides. But Project Fear is winning the day, and my fear is that this will just lead to a lower turnout. And if it's a lower turnout, that's in favour of leave. Don't be put off by the referendum. I'm not watching anything. I made my mind up about the referendum 22 years ago. I've had the same opinion on how I was going to vote 22 years ago after Maastricht. So I've never changed my opinion. I know how I'm going to vote in a referendum. A lot of people are undecided, but I think down at the end of the day, everybody knows how they're going to vote. They're going to go with their gut. I think it's going to be to Remain. I don't think anybody's going to take a risk. but don't buy the project fear. Listen, take on board, and go with how you feel. That's how I think this referendum's going to go down. People are going to go into the polling booths and they're going to put their cross in the box on their gut feeling. And if it's gut feeling, it'll be Remain. Because people at referendums don't like bucking the trend. They like safety and they like going for the status quo. So my advice to everybody who's worried about the referendum, I'm inclined to say don't be, because I think you'll find it'll be Remain. I don't think if we go by votes for UKIP, then it's the UKIP are only polling about 12 to 14% of the national vote on average, if you go by some statistics and on what they did in the last general election in 2015. So that's not an overwhelming vote to leave. They only polled 4 million votes in the last general election. So again, it's not a lot of votes. There's more people going to be voting. But if it's a low turnout and that 4 million come out and other people join that 4 million, well, let's wait and see, really. If it is a no vote, I personally will be surprised and shocked. I would be honestly surprised if it was a no vote. But that doesn't change how you should vote. Go with your gut. Go with how you feel. Don't buy into the project fear. Don't buy into the stuff that the Leave campaign's saying. Go with how you feel. Look it up. Pay attention. But after this referendum, don't ignore European Union. If it's a vote to Remain, don't ignore them. Everybody in past opinion polls have suggested that the European Union laws and politics only makes up 7% of the interest of the general public in the UK. It needs to be more than that. Since the referendum started, it's been over 30%. It needs to be that up high. We need to hold to account the commissioners in the European Union and the Parliament. We need to address the fact that there's a gap in this country with understanding of what the European Union is about. We need to get on board, we need to learn what it's about and engage. And only in that way will we make the European Union better than it is at the moment, because it's a dreadful undemocratic system at the moment and it needs radical reform. So that's what I'm saying. Wait and see after the referendum. I may tell you how I voted. I don't know. I'm a bit nervous. I don't know if I'll influence people or put people off me. I don't know. But go with your gut. Don't buy into project fear. Just go with how you feel on the day when you go into that polling booth and you're going to put your cross in the box. I hope you've been well and I'll catch you soon. See you later, duckies. Bye.